Hello, welcome to the Uncoupled Couple podcast, which is about two baby mamas navigating a unique co-parenting journey.
Closely connected and sharing our experiences. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Elle, and welcome to the Uncoupled Couple.
The Uncoupled Couple, yes, you're going to learn more about that eventually.
Hello, and welcome to the Uncoupled Couple, a podcast about two baby mamas navigating a unique co-parenting journey.
Closely connected and sharing our experiences. Hey, I'm Elle.
And I'm Nikki, and welcome to the Uncoupled Couple. So today we are going to talk about how it all began. So, what was our boys' first impression of each other? So, what was Jay and what was Isaiah's first impression of me?
Isaiah's first impression,
If you can remember back
if I can
far.
remember, it was so long ago. I didn't get anything bad. I didn't get mommy, I don't want to go over there. I didn't get any mommy, she's mean. I didn't get any mommy, I don't like her. He was so young, what, 5, 6 maybe. It was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything either way, actually. I didn't hear Daddy's new girlfriend unless I just cannot remember.
Okay.
And something sitting in my brain to stop me from thinking that, but I can't recall either way any impressions. In the beginning, I don't remember anything.
Gotcha. Okay. So for me, Elijah, like I said, he didn't have he was real little, so he wasn't old enough to be like, hey, this, or that. But Jay definitely, Jay was always talking. Jay definitely was like he liked you. I was younger then, and I used to fuss a lot. And I'm pretty sure you remember that, Elle. But you were always so patient with the boys and things and stuff like that. And I think that was something that Jay really, really gravitated towards with you. That just how sweet and patient that you were, and I love that from you and for them, because I know I used to be fussing a lot, but they boys, they kids, and I
They're
wanted them.
boys.
I know, I know, but not as
Yeah.
bad, not as bad as I did, because I want them to stay clean.
They were
sit down, and
rambunctious when they were together.
very
Sit down.
rambunctious.
What you doing? What's your break? Stop fighting. Stop wrestling. That stop wrestling part. Woo!
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. But they just did what boys did.
They started wrestling when Tyson came. Because remember?
Yeah.
Tyson.
That was my road dog.
That was non-negotiable.
Yeah, that's another thing. I also kept the dog for 4, 5, 6 months, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I kept the dog. Long story, yeah. That was my road dog.
Yeah. So yeah, Tyson didn't go for that wrestling stuff. And we got the dog. He'll come later in the picture. They were 8. Jay and Isaiah was 8. Elijah was around 5 when we got old Tyson. Mm-hmm. Tyson, the chicken nugget bandit. Yeah, old Tyson. But yeah. So like I said, Elijah's nonverbals gave me gave me his first impressions of you. Because like I said, when you were around, he would go to you and things like that. So I was like, okay. But yeah, Jay was verbal that he thought you was nice.
He always has been very verbal. I don't know why I'm trying to talk so soft, like I'm doing a podcast about, relationships or something. So I don't know why I'm talking soft. Sometimes I talk soft and sometimes I don't, but I need to speak up. I'm noticing that. So yeah, I'm not trying to be all cute and everything. Why is she trying to talk all sexy? So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to speak up more. But yeah, that was impression of the boys.
Yeah.
Did we talk about our impressions of each other? Or we talked about that last time?
We did a little bit. Like I said before, like you was always just sweet and nice and had a bubbly personality. So that was definitely my first.
Bubbly.
Huh?
I've been called bubbly.
Yeah. So you always positive, like
Most times.
I mean everybody, but most of the time,
Yeah.
yeah. Elle is just not the type of person to say disparaging words about other people, even when they get on her nerves.
I
Um,
try not to.
um,
Sometimes I'm like, that's so and so. If I'm calling you names,
you didn't really cut
if
up.
you an itch, yeah, you made me mad.
You didn't really cut up because
Yeah.
yeah,
But they see that I've been told that I have road rage. They say you like two different people. James say you are a totally different person when you're driving. I was like, excuse me, bitch, what the? I'm not going off, you know. And I said, I'm sorry, Lord. You know.
Oh man.
Yeah, and if I don't like you, nobody likes you. If I dislike you, everybody dislikes you. So
she found it positive in most anything.
I try.
But yeah, so that was my first impression of you. What was your first impression?
My first impression is she was you're outgoing, you were cool, but she speaks her mind. I was like, she speaks her mind. And I was like, she don't take no mess, is what I said. I said, she don't take no mess. And then as we grew and we're together more and more, I was like, okay, she got my back.
Absolutely.
If I don't fight, we don't fight. But if I got in a fight, she just gonna jump in and ask questions later. And she doesn't fight anymore. She doesn't do that. But back in the day, she would.
Hey, I'm too old to be fighting now.
Yeah, she would. I'd have to say now, when we go in here, I need you to be nice. Don't cuss out. Blah 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 blah.
Hey, sometimes you gotta cuss somebody out. I'm just saying. Hey, and I'm the woman for the job.
It was almost like good cop, bad cop.
Listen, I got some colorful words. I don't know how to put them together well.
Very well. But that's the impression I guess. She was spoke her mind, but I was like, she's cool people. And I was like, okay, you did good. And like I said, my instructions to James was like, don't mess up. I like her.
That's what's up. Yeah, I don't beat up people no more. I call the cops now.
That's called growth. We're
definitely growth. Definitely growth.
She's come a long way.
Yeah. So, as we have been, talking to you guys about like this co-parenting thing and how that all goes, it's not only oops, sorry about that, y'all.
I didn't have on my ear.
It's not only a relationship between you, that woman or man, and the kid. Your whole family is a part of that journey, right? So like when you have your parents and all of it, like it's everybody, right? Because these kids are going to be a part of your life. So that means they're going to be a part of the lives of everybody that's a part of your life, right? So it's the family, your extended family, right? Just not your nuclear family that's in the house. What you over there doing, Elle, with your headphones?
I'm sorry, guys. I just realized that I have my earphones on. Okay, that's comfortable.
There we go. Okay. So, yeah, so your family, everybody in your family is going to be involved in this journey. So, I want to talk about how a little bit about how our families reacted to our co-parenting whole setup and situation. So, it really, really got to a point. So, like, of all of the different baby mamas, Elle and I were the closest, and I think that really stemmed from and again, like I said, we said, our first impressions of each other was like, oh, she cool, whatever. But we really, really, I think got close is when we really like straight up had to do life together. So I think it was, I can't remember where you were living before, um, but maybe you could talk to it why you had to move, and you weren't going to be able to get a new place right away, and you ended up having to go stay with your sister.
Well, shoot, I want to say, was it prior to then? No, I was with my sister, and then I ended up living with my grandmother. I wasn't working.
Okay. Gotcha.
Had eventually got out of my place. Thank God I didn't lose it. But when the lease was up, I was like, I can't stay here because I don't have a job. I left the job, the first job in HR. It was some very they were racist. They were doing some things. I didn't like how they worked and how they treated people of color. So I was like, I gotta leave. And then me and the HR VP had some words, and yeah, anyway, because y'all know I will leave a job, right? So I did. But anyway, I was staying with my grandmother, and school was getting ready to start. Are we to that point? No, no,
No,
no.
this was when Isaiah was like 8. And I think you had to go stay with, I thought you had to go stay with your sister. This was,
No, I was with my
it
grandmother
was your
when he
grandma.
was 8.
Okay.
Yep, I was with my grandmother.
But it wasn't going to be anywhere for Isaiah. He would have had to be in a room with you or something like that.
Yeah, so because I was sleeping on my grandmother's couch. She had a 1 bedroom.
Gotcha.
So, but Isaiah was on a futon because she had a pull out couch. She had a futon. So, we had places room to sleep. But the thing was, she stayed on the west end. I didn't want him walking to school, first of all, by himself, and that area was just, man, didn't have nothing on the north side. So, 'cause I grew up on the north side. So I needed to get him in school, and you said, well, he can go to school with the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, how am I gonna get them there, yada yada. And then you said, well, maybe he can just move with us. James said he can move with us. So I said, I don't want my baby moving. Da, da, da. So he ended up being with you during the week, and he would be with me on the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, I remember that, and I was like, Elle, you can come over here and see this little boy anytime you want.
Because I was in tears.
Don't stress. He's gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put the boys in school.
Nance.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yep.
Nance.
Put them in Nance, and they would all go to school together. They were in Elijah was in the 1st grade, and the boys were in the 3rd grade, I think. Yep.
She navigated.
Oh, kindergarten. I'm sorry, kindergarten. And Jay and Isaiah were in the 3rd grade, and they walked to school together.
And she navigated me through that because I had missed my son so bad. I was like, well, I'll wash his clothes.
Yeah.
She could wash this. I wanted to feel like I had some part of him. So she was like, okay.
And I allowed her that.
Yeah.
And that's important because sometimes life happens to us, right? Where we have to navigate different spaces, like, co-parenting and this and that. But like, we never talked about that. I didn't know you even felt,
yeah,
what all you were feeling. I knew.
Now. It hurt me so bad. Because I was like, it's crazy how you hold stuff in. Y'all gonna learn I'm a crybaby first of all. I cry in commercials. But I was like, my son's not here. I don't have any part. So she was like, yeah, girl, gonna wash. She could wash. But I would get his clothes when he was with me on the weekend and his uniform.
And I didn't realize it impacted you like that because it's just like.
And I wasn't upset, but I was like,
But no, you felt like as a mom, you know what I'm saying? You felt like, okay, he living over there with them.
I'm sorry,
he got another mama and all this, like, not like I was replacing you. Yeah, but like it's just that. Like,
right. I think I was just missing my boy.
Yeah.
And then with sleeping on my grandmother's couch, and going to work and then all of that, and then I had that tempo. They used to knock, you could hear it going around the corner. I paid $400 for it, y'all. But I only had to change the alternator. Other than that, and spark plugs. Never had any problems. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a big baby. Anyway.
But yeah, I can definitely understand.
Yeah, that's how he
not
ended up
feeling
there.
like as a mom, you was doing enough.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it was. Yeah.
Got you. But yeah, and I was like, and you have to, and again, like I said, if you decide, to be in a co-parenting situation, or you end up in one and it wasn't your choice, you have to figure out how to navigate these things. But if you do have a choice with that, you have to make sure that you have to allow all parties that space, to work through their emotions, and you have to give grace and, just make sure that you're being respectful and treating somebody like you would want to be treated, right? Because in that moment, in that space, obviously, because like I said, through these years, we've both been up and down. But in that moment, me and James was in the up position and she was down.
Mhm.
And that is a place, especially if you're like still have feelings towards that baby mama, baby daddy, that could be a place where you would kick somebody when they down. But what would that serve your child, right?
Mhm.
Kicking down their mom or their dad, right? And that's what people need to try to keep in the forefront of their mind is to make sure that you're not that you giving grace, to that other parent. Because at the end of the day, at some point in time, somewhere, you and that other person got together and y'all made a child together.
Mhm.
So you liked
At
him
one
or her
point
at
in
some
time,
point, right? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Y'all was cool at some point in time, you know what I'm saying? That you guys got, made a kid together. So, try to think to those things or whatever the case may be.
And
But yeah, so
again, just think, regardless of everything else, that this is about the child. This is about the children. That's what it's about. So you have to get along, and like you said, work. We just got to get along enough to work together to get the job done. So we got to get along to get the job done to care for our children.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And I think that you know, that goes to you know, like I say, just that village and growing and growth and maturity and all of that to make sure that, we doing what's best for our kids. But so yeah, so Isaiah came to live with us. Um, so again, like I said, this is not only going to affect you, it's going to affect all the people around you. So I come from a very, very close knit family. My mom is was one of seven, and she was the eldest. And my whole family lives here. Well, one of my aunts, she lives in Detroit now, but she lived here for some years. And we would have, every year since I was a little kid, myself, my grandmother, we would have a Christmas Eve party. We would do a big potluck, and we'd have like party food and all of that. Everybody would bring it, and we do a name exchange because there's too many of us to give everybody a gift. So we pull names at Thanksgiving to do our Christmas exchange, and we get together on Christmas Eve every year. So of course, all of my kids was gonna be involved, and that was Isaiah, Jamie, Jay, the whole crew. So Isaiah was part of my family. So bringing Isaiah around, obviously I was married to James, so that was a very, very natural thing for obviously the kids. But bringing Eliani around, now that was a little interesting. So they was like, I was like, I want to invite Eliani to come. And they was like, who? I was like, Isaiah mama. They was like, oh, so y'all tell like that? Oh, the jokes, my
Yeah.
family, and not behind her back.
And nothing mean, never
Nothing,
ever
but they was
mean.
cracking. They was like, oh, here come the sister wives. Listen, they used to crack some jokes on us, on about just how tight we was and how we rolled and stuff like that. Here come Eliani with the plate, with a pot or something. We
Yeah.
like,
And I used to wonder how her sisters. I was worried more about her sisters because y'all they tight as thieves.
yeah, we call
Tight,
ourselves the
especially-
power of
And
three.
that baby one will beat you up. But no, they're tight as thieves. But
Yeah.
they accepted me. I think at first they probably like, she's still liking James. What's she doing here? And then they know me. And then they got to know me like, girl, she ain't think about James. You
Right.
know,
I mean,
so,
they had questions
yeah.
on the front end,
But
but
never, no issues.
none at all.
I would
Like
come
I
to the
say,
birthday parties and eat and
yeah,
yeah,
yep, all
like
the
I
things.
belong.
Absolutely, because you did belong.
Mhm.
But yeah, obviously everybody had questions on the front end, but yeah, I was like, this L and da 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 and this, that, and the other, and they was like, okay, cool, cool, and then they met you, and they was like, oh, she cool people or whatever. She ain't studying James, none of that. Because obviously your family, they love you, they protective of you, and they want to make sure you're not in no situation where nobody trying to pull the wool over your eyes.
Some could be faking, moving in, and
we have a guest that we're gonna have on later. My older sister, and she was in a co-parenting relationship with her husband, and you know, she has the perspective of somebody trying to smile on her face but want her husband still. So yeah, we will have her on soon, and she's gonna share her story. Like I said, everybody in no two stories will be alike, no matter what, right? And our story is unique to us, and my sister's story is unique to her. And you all that's going through your co-parenting journey, your story will be unique to you. But like I said, the one thing that you are always going to hear us say is making sure that the kids are all right, long as they are in a
My
happy and
sister was
healthy.
such a great mom.
Oh my goodness, amazing!
Yes,
Yeah,
I loved it.
yeah.
Yes. One thing I'm thinking about, my son's mother. I won't say names because she may say, "Why you say my name?" So I won't say names, but she may not. It may not bother her. But her and my dad have. They're not together for years. My brother's like in his 40s. So, but she still comes around to all the gatherings. Has been ever since I can remember. And in the past, when she dated guys, her guys would come to the family gatherings, and my dad would be like, "What's up?" Because there was that, and they are so close.
And you know what? That probably goes to how you were. So you fell so easily into that our family and our dynamic because that wasn't odd to you to see people that maybe not together no more, but be good with each other.
Yeah, and some people can't understand that. It's like, I would never. And I call her mom. I say, "Hey, mama," and she's not old enough to be my mom, but still, I call her. She's always there. Still, Christmas, she was at my house. Now, my brother didn't show up, by the way. Why you didn't show up? But anyway, he didn't come, but she was here. Because, we're normally at my cousin's. She was out of town, and she needed that break. My cousin needed that break because she's always cooking. I just bring my little string beans or whatever, so I had to cook my first full Christmas meal. I had to make, and it was good.
It's your first one,
that girl, yeah. Now I was cooking like Mook and all them would come, Isaiah's friends would come up for the whole family. I cooked the first Christmas meal. My aunt was there.
I mean, it ain't like you can't cook, so that's just surprising.
So, I know. Wow. So I threw down, no complaints. Chris came.
I should have came and got a
Chris
plate.
came. It was good. We were all up in here. But the fact that, like I said, my brother's mother was here. She's always been around. It ain't like y'all not together. So yeah,
that's what's up.
That's good. That's what we all want you all to be able to do eventually. If you're not there.
Absolutely. So what about your family? What your family think about me?
My family, I don't think they were good with it. Nikki, my cousin Lisa, I think, is more familiar with you than any of them. My grandmother was, of course, because Lisa every now and then say, and Yvette very much, yeah, they were. Lisa's like, "What's Nikki up to? What's Jay up to?" Because he would come to the house,
Y'all
accepted you.
Yep, used to be at your auntie house over there off Goodfellas.
My aunt always, honey, throwing down.
Yeah. And I'd be like, "Hey, make me a plate."
I'm like, "Girl, you better make your own." And if my aunt had heard you, she's like, "Child, you better go in there and make your plate." I was surprised she didn't have you in there cleaning.
No, I would come if I was there, but I'm saying, like, if you were just taking the boys without me, I'm like, "Hey, bring me a plate," because Aunt Roseanne, that food
throwing
food about to be busting.
We had tons of food. We'd be like, "Please take some plates."
Them old black mamas and 18s, they do not know how to cook for nothing but an army. That's how my granny was. It'd be enough for the whole neighborhood. It was always enough.
I have a tendency to do that because I had so much food. I'm like, I'd rather have too much than
not enough.
I took some meatballs to work. It was so much left. I said, first of all, I wouldn't worry about the meatballs not getting ate up. Because if that was all that's left, somebody there was gonna eat it. So I'm old school like that. I got so much of my grandmother, my aunt, and me. It's a shame.
Man, no, it's a wonderful thing. It's definitely a wonderful thing.
Yeah, but family wise, we all got along.
Absolutely. And even so for me having to navigate all those other relationships, like those were well. Like Dorian, James and Dorian have a daughter. Her name is Kendall. It's my little Ken. She is 19 now. Right.
Woman.
Yeah. When I got with James, she was a hand baby. Or was she even born?
She was not.
Was she born?
She was a baby. If she are on the way. Because when you, like you said, when...
Let me see.
When she was not born, was coming soon, though.
Coming soon.
Because
her and Elijah... No, she was a little baby when she was like
She
one.
was a baby, wasn't she? She was really young. She might have been one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, she was super
Because when
little.
you all got married, she was like in a car seat.
Yeah, she's like 2, 3. So like, what year was she born? So Elijah was born in 03. She had to be born in 05. They 2 years apart. Cause she 19, Elijah's 21. So when I met James, yeah, she was just born. I remember because
I used to keep her.
Because he was engaged to Dorian.
I used to keep her.
Dorian, by the way, God rest her soul. She was definitely not the one that was not. She was definitely not rocking with me. But the way James did things and how he did stuff was very messy. Well, yeah, that's a story for another day. But yeah, she was definitely not rocking with me. But we eventually navigated that relationship and got cordial. But I said that to say again, family, right?
And still didn't treat mama Kendall any differently.
But her mom embraced me, and
may she rest in peace. Also.
Yeah, may she rest in peace. Also, yeah. We like you said, we had some losses over the years. Dealt with loss. Yeah, we all dealt with loss.
And now I would sometimes end up at Dorian's house if they had something, dropping Isaiah off, and her mom would be like, "You want something to eat? Have a seat."
Oh yeah, Miss Miller. Me too. Miss Miller always will hook you up with a plate.
So yeah,
and I think that once everybody really kind of got to know me and talk to me and just find out what my intentions were, that made the difference. Because like my first husband, which I'll have him on here, we'll have James on. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of people. So it's just not, you're not gonna only hear from us and our perspectives and our experiences, but like the other people involved in our life, what their perspectives are. We're also gonna have the kids on. We thinking we're probably gonna have them have their own episode so we can talk to them and they can, really talk about their experience with, with all of their siblings and extra moms and the whole thing, and how that, you know, how they feel like that affected them growing up and things like that, what their friends thought about it, just all the different things, like Isaiah and Jay, like I said, they're 4 months apart, same grade. Teachers learned their first year, we was like, yeah, they can't be in the same class. When they got to high school, we couldn't avoid it because some of their classes, like different couple periods, they did have to end up having together. But them two, don't put them together because they play and feed off of each other like crazy.
Right.
But yeah, we had a whole tribe. Like I say, even other people's parents and cousins and things like that. James's son James, he has his first wife Deborah has another daughter Tiara.
But we haven't talked. She's the oldest. She's the oldest out of all of the kids,
and she
very successful, very empowered. I love Tiara.
She isn't James's biologically, and then he had little James with Deborah, and then got married to me. And like I said, we don't share any kids, but Tiara would come pick up all the boys, and that's their big sister. So yeah, it again. I mean, people can choose to not be involved, right, and be like, I ain't dealing with that and this and that. But like,
fine.
But I just count it as a blessing that everybody, again, everybody not right away just jumped in, both feet first like us, but everybody, in their own way and time caught on, and it just provided our kids such a amazing family unit. Yeah.
And like you said, family is not always necessarily blood.
Definitely.
But you know what? I'm thinking when we talk about family, my dad, the summers, he would have all the boys. He'd have Jay, Isaiah, my little cousin Gerald. He would have my nephews Di and Q. 5 boys, 5 rambunctious boys, and now they're telling me stories of things they experienced with my dad, since it's like, okay, you know, we grown now, we can say it. So my dad is crazy in a good way. So he would have the boys with them, pile them up in the truck, and like I was talking to the last episode, he take them to church with him. They go to Sunday school. They had a Christian rapping singing group. They were had to be maybe 9, 10, something like that.
Good.
So they've had that experience with mine. And Jay called him Granddaddy Richard, you know, Stipe. And my dad like my grandson, and that's it. And yeah.
Man, look, they had some adventures that they went on. Man, lots of adventures. Yeah, and I'm just happy that they got to have all those different experiences. And one thing we want you guys to know, it was easy for us. But again, like I said, all the relationships are not going to be easy. And we're going to delve into that from my perspective. So my first husband, he has a daughter, and I had my oldest son from previous relationships, and then we got married, and I had my youngest Elijah. So had to navigate those relationships. Now, obviously, if I got with James at 24, I got with my first husband, and got married when I was 19 years old. Was a kid, ain't know nothing, ain't had no business getting married to nobody, right? And so we was young. So me and that baby mama, baby, we didn't have straight up fist fight. So we're gonna get into all of those things. So I don't want you guys to be listening to us thinking, oh yeah, well that's easy for y'all to say because it was love at first sight. Yeah, it was for me and Elle, but I got all the perspectives, you know.
And I've had a perspective too.
Yeah.
Only once, but I've had a perspective.
Elle fortunately had to deal with all the things that I've had to deal with, but I can say I navigated them. I navigated them well. So just know that even if it ain't starting, if you in a situation now and it's not starting off smooth, you know, that doesn't mean that's where it has to end up. Like it's 25 now, and 23, my first husband's baby mama that I had a fight with, she took me to the Erykah Badu concert. Like that's my dog. Like that's how we rolling out here. Like we got each other's back for these kids. No matter what we got to do, we show up for them, and in showing up for them, we show up for each other. So yeah, so you got to make sure that you are, and I think I spoke on it earlier about giving grace to people in their experience and how they're feeling, but give yourself grace too. And be okay with your feelings, your emotions, and everything. And it ain't always easy, you know, to navigate this thing. And if you need to go outside and holler or scream or, you know, get yourself a good cry in, do that. But you know, do what you need to do to make it through.
Yeah, and as we're on the other side, you weren't aware of what I was going through because I didn't share it. But I'm sure if you were, you know, just what you did, like with the washing the clothes. I was like, well, I want to wash this clothes, and you probably like, girl, you know I can wash this clothes, but you did. She didn't say a thing. She said, okay, you know, because that's a part that I needed. So again, with that, allowing someone grace. If you're in a situation and Nikki was younger, but Nikki wasn't like, we had a good relationship. So I didn't have to constantly tell myself, okay, she's younger than I am. You know, I work with that. I'm gonna give her that credit enough because I didn't have to go through that. But if I had to, you know, sometimes you may have to realize, you may have to say, okay, well, she's still in love with him. I have to work through that or whatever, or she's going through this, or it's a hard time. I know it's not about me, and sometimes, in the end, many times it's not about you. It's about that person and their insecurities or whatever if they have that. So you know, learn to do that. You know, uh, kind of. I don't want to say to be the bigger person, but the word we'll use is to have grace.
Absolutely.
And understanding.
I'm just thankful that at my young age I had enough emotional maturity to just understand that, you know, she need this. Because, like, again, when he came to stay with us, you know, and you were crying, you were crying, and you was upset, and obviously, like she said, he had clothes and all that. But when he first came, you know, obviously he didn't have clothes or anything at our house. He would just come for weekends or whatever and bring his little bags and whatnot and take it back. But when he came and, you know,
And I'm moving
I made him,
everything.
and I moved his space. You know, it was very emotional for her to. She's putting his little clothes in the dresser drawers and stuff like that because I wanted to make sure he had a space and not no little side corner or nothing like that. No,
never.
No, I wanted him to have the space just like my boys had the space to make sure he knew that he was welcome and loved, and he was. This is going to be your home too. You're not a visitor. You're not just on the side, you know.
Exactly.
But make sure you have space. And it was, you know, again, like she said, it was emotional. So when she was like, "I want to wash his clothes," you know, I took it like, okay, she just want to feel like, you know, she's dropping off her child and giving him, not giving him up. It wasn't like, you know, she put him up for adoption.
Right.
But you know, that's kind of the emotion she went through. You know, like, you know,
And
I'm giving my
y'all know
child away.
what? I was soon okay with it.
She was like,
like
real, I can read more.
Yeah.
Elle is an avid reader to this day.
I adapted quickly.
Yeah, but yeah. And then she gave me a gift. So during that, when she you know, obviously got back on her feet and started back working and got her place, immediately once she got her place, she started taking all the boys for the weekend. Because when she was with her granny, she would take Isaiah, but he just had her grandmother lived in a one bedroom. So like she said, so she didn't he had a little futon to sleep on, but obviously not no space for no three boys. But even during that time, she would take them to the movies or take them to the to Art Hill, and Elle was great for finding some kind of festival outside, something going on, and you know, this, that, or the other, and taking all the boys and doing stuff. As soon as she got a place, that was something that a gift that she gave to us because although Elle isn't married, you know, it's something that she always aspires to be. And girl, we're gonna get you this husband, he coming. But she was just like, you know, just so you all could have a healthy relationship. I'm taking Isaiah, I'll just take all the boys so you and James could have some time. So not only did she, you know, she was, you know, pouring into our marriage, you know, because again, making sure that me and James are good, you know, and we not bickering and fighting. That overall helps the kids, right? Because if I'm looking at him crazy and he looking at me crazy and we at odds with each other, kids feel that. Kids see that. Kids need to see positive. So by you know, just by doing that, you know, that also funneled down and helped our, you know, the kids and, you know, giving, and, you know, and I think, but, you know, from her perspective at that time, you know, she was basically feeling like, you know, you took Isaiah and I, you know, I'm just trying to pay you back and, you know, give you a break. But I'm like, you ain't got to pay me back. But let's be clear, baby. I enjoyed that free time. I needed a break from them little cats because they was boys. They got into stuff, baby, got into stuff. You hear me? God. Remember that time they found them bunny rabbits and stole them out the backyard and put them in that shoebox and talking about, Mama, can we? I came home from work because the kids they got home from school like 3:30, and I had them call me. Back then we had a house phone, and they called me and be like, Mama, we made it home from school and whatever.
Yeah, they were latchkey kids.
Yep, and I'm like, cool. I got home from work that day about 5:30. They had that little shoebox with them darn baby bunny rabbits in there. And I was like, where you get them from? It's like, we found them in the backyard. I'm like,
they were truly boys. You didn't have to tell them to go outside and play.
So they found animals. We got them animals. Isaiah was the one. He had a snake. He had hermit crabs.
Yeah, he had the hermit crab.
Jay had them fish. Elijah had a guinea pig. The dog was he was every sense of the word, a family dog. Tyson was
my Tyson.
Tyson was the boy. That was the boy. He lived to
Tyson
be 12
played
years
me
old.
one time. So yeah, I was dating this guy, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna see if he's, if I should be fooling with him. I said, I'm gonna take Tyson because I would take Tyson with me everywhere. I did a lot of walking, so I get his leash.
And them boys,
home.
and them boys wasn't taking him on walks like he needed to.
Yeah,
so he
I
got more
walked
exercise with Ellie Honey than the dang
He
on
would get in
boys.
the car and be gone. He would come to me and bring the leash and put it at my foot, right? So I said, I'm gonna take Tyson. If Tyson don't like old boy, I know he ain't no good. So met him, Tyson, he comes to the car. He said, hey boy, Tyson, I like this tail wiggling. I say, sell out. I said, you wasn't supposed to like him.
Tyson was a friendly Bob. That's the problem.
See, that was my baby.
Tyson liked everybody. But
my sister used him for the cat because remember she stayed downstairs and she couldn't stand. She was scared of cats, so
what
she
was TT dog name?
Minnie.
Minnie, that's right.
She had a little bitty thing, and she would take Tyson walking. She would take Tyson walking in the back. She's like, because I want the scent of Tyson, because I know he gonna scare him away, because they gonna smell, Tyson. He a dog, so yeah, he was her protector over the cat.
Yeah.
One time she literally had me to bring Tyson downstairs. It was a cat that wouldn't move. And she was like, bring Tyson downstairs. And I opened the door. Tyson, of course, ran after her. And the cat was going to throw.
Yeah, because we lived somewhere we couldn't have a dog. And we was like,
will you keep Tyson? I was like, yeah.
But yeah, so Elle kept Tyson.
He was my
But we was like, we knew we was not going to renew our lease there. And I think we needed to stay there for a reason. Like I said, we done moved. Over the years,
your sister kept Tyson too. He was such a good dog.
I done moved. She done moved. That one last place, they was like, I think the landlord was like, yeah, I know you got your dog over here. Look, he was like, it's all good. He was like, I've never come over here and had, no issues. I kept my place clean and all that type of stuff. He's like, and Tyson did not bark.
I've seen Tyson that bark once. Some little boys was messing with Isaiah.
Definitely can count on
him. And I was like,
Tyson wasn't a barker.
But let me tell you what he did one night. So in my apartment, Tyson's bed would be next to my bed.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the foot of the steps. I'm like,
right.
All night he was at the top of the steps. When I said, come here, Tyson, he came to me. I'm rubbing him. He looked at me like, are you done? And then he went back to the steps. I got up that morning. He was still at the steps. So whatever, he's not a vicious dog, but whoever was coming in, he was going to turn him up.
He was, definitely. He didn't play about his family. He didn't even let the boys wrestle.
Yeah, I've seen that he would bark and be in between.
And they was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, he loved his family. That was our little baby.
Tyson. Beautiful dog, beautiful coat.
Yeah, my baby. But yeah, like I said, family, everybody. Like we said, down to the dog. Everybody is involved when you're talking about family.
Down to the dog.
Down to the dog. Yeah. Everybody gonna be part of the crew. So, yeah. So we really want to just, like I said, when you get into a blended family situation, co-parenting relationship, it got to be everybody. It got to be everybody because that's what's just best for the kid. So let's give them some tips for setting up a positive relationship from the start. So I'll let you start.
Okay. We always talk about communication in any relationship, platonic, lovers, co-workers, whatever. Communication is plus. That's something I personally have to work on. Improve on, but in parenting relationships, you have to communicate. You have to talk. And me and Nikki and I are very good at that. We're communicating about, well, I have to work this time. Can you get the kids? Can I get the kids?
Hey, we going out of town. Activities.
Extracurricular
going
activities.
Out of town. Yeah.
So you're gonna be able to pick the boys up, or I could drop them off to football practice, and I'll get them. Communication is important with that. Communicating your feelings, communicating your dislikes. We had one issue. The only issue we had So tell me about the issue.
So, this was earlier on. This is when Isaiah he was going home on the weekends and just staying in the week. This is before he moved in with us. And I remember we was on Goodfellow, but that was before he came to live with us on Goodfellow. She dropped him off Monday morning. He stayed for the weekend, and she would drop him off Monday morning for school, and then he would stay through to Friday. And she dropped him off, and she had took him to Quick Trip, and got him a donut. And he came up in the house with that chocolate Long John, eating that mug. So naturally, Jay and Elijah looking like they little kids,
donut.
right? So I felt away because I mean
they should have.
They little kids. Little kids are not going to.
I wasn't thinking.
Understand, you know. They ain't got no donut. It's just like any little kid. You know, when they at school, if somebody got a juice box, they want a juice box. Little kids want stuff that other little kids want, right? Every kid's want it. So they was like, oh, our brother got a donut. They looking like, Mama, I want a donut. And I was like, I ain't have time to go to no quick. First of all, she lived in the county. So we live on Goodfellow in the city. Ain't no Quick Trips in the city. So I wasn't even going that direction. So, and then I didn't have the time or anything to go and get them no donuts or any of that. So, again, communication. You know, it wasn't nothing ignorant like what. No, I just, I called her and I was like, hey, Elle, if you get, stop at Quick Trip and get a donut for Isaiah, I'm gonna need you to get Jay and Elijah one, or have Isaiah eat his donut before he come in the house, because the boys, they kids, they felt away, they didn't have a donut. And Elle immediately was like, oh, that makes sense, I'm sorry, da, 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 da. And we were just talking about this. It's something we've seen on social media. It's been a big thing back and forth about, should another parent buy food for the other parents' kids that aren't theirs. And our answer is unequivocally yes, you should, because they
just because they're kids.
Absolutely,
just because they're kids.
Yeah. And it's just like that's just mean. That's just mean. If you don't want, if you feel away and you're not at that level or can't afford it, whatever the situation is, make sure you take your kid to have X, Y, and Z, and then bring them home to their siblings. Like that's just being an adult. Because again, you and the baby mama or baby daddy, y'all may not be on the best terms, and whatever that looks like. But why hurt kids?
Which is a good segue. Okay, that's my, I have a bachelor's in mass communication, so I'm using those skills. But anyway, no, good segue. Another tip is to make sure you're ready for this. So you're going into a relationship. Like me, I only have one child. And I could be like, well, I don't want no man, got no more kids, yada, yada. Make sure you're ready to take on, if you want to have a mate that's have kids, are you going to accept those children as your own, not to treat them some type of way? And that's a whole different thing. You're going to be involved and you got young kids, no, if you're not going to treat my kids right, I don't have nothing to deal with you. And then as Isaiah was growing up, if I was with a brother and knowing it's not going nowhere, you wouldn't even meet him. Isaiah saw me with one guy until he was up to the age of 16. And I wasn't with that guy forever, but that was the only guy he saw me with. Then when he turned 16, as he got older. So like my grandmother, I only saw her with two men in my whole life, literally. She said, child, it was more than that. But she said, you didn't need, that's granny family. You didn't need to see that because it wasn't going to be serious. But yeah, just make sure and think about, if this is something you want, because you don't want those children to get attached, for one. Or first of all, you want to make sure, because you don't want to treat them wrong. You don't want to be like, I don't want to fool with your kids. If you're not ready for a woman or man with kids, you need to keep stepping. Gotcha. So that's one of my tips.
My one tip kind of goes into your first tip. no negative talk in front of the kids. I cannot
Definitely.
express how important that is. Like when and I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but like when my ex-husband and I divorced, my kids came to me. One, they were older, obviously, and they came to me and they was like, "Mama, we learned so many different things about Dad that we didn't know by you guys being separated." And Eliani know, um, and they all big vocal about communicating how they feel about X, Y, and Z. But we just kept them things from because it wasn't none of their business. It's not kids' jobs to be grown-ups and to navigate those spaces and having to figure out this, that, or the other. So, all the different things that me and James went through in our relationship that ultimately led to our divorce, I didn't share that with
They
them
didn't know, and I didn't.
because it wasn't none of their business. They was kids. And then, Elle was a support to me and everything like that. But, I come from how I was raised, like marital stuff should stay in the marriage. Now when it got to be serious things and, I was thinking about, divorcing and things like that. Obviously me and Eliani talked about that.
And how it affected him, but I wasn't.
And we'll definitely get into that later and how that how we navigated that space and, we kept it rocking and rolling.
We kept it rocking and rolling.
As we always
I'm
do.
thinking the first time Isaiah ever had heard me fussing with his dad, Isaiah I thought wasn't at home. He came in, he was like 17, and he heard me on the phone. That was the first time he ever heard me and his dad fuss. Now, we done fussed and I done been said some words, as a mom, but that was the first time. Isaiah was like 17. Okay. And he just
and I mean, it's not a perfect, right? I mean, they've heard us have some disagreement.
Of course.
But, try your best to not be negative, in front of the kids and talk down about the other parent, no matter what they got going on. I think that is one of the worst things that we can do. My kids as adults now, when they come to me, I do have very candid conversations.
Yeah, because they're grown now, it's a little different.
Yeah, but
and when they may approach us, it's like, "Hey, mom."
Yeah, but never when they were younger. And my other tip is you got to put your feelings aside. It's always, always, always about your kids first. That's just part of the deal with being a parent. Your primary, job in life is to make sure that that person is happy and healthy. Kids coming to this world, they can't do nothing. They can't walk. They can't talk. They can't feed themselves. You, as their parent, it's your number one responsibility to make sure that they're all right. And sometimes what's best for them may be uncomfortable for you. It may be something that, like obviously, if you're no longer with this person, this isn't what you guys, wanted. It's not how it started. It's not, what you wanted the goal to be, obviously being separated. But here we are. But because that person is, mom or dad to your child, you got to put your feelings aside. And that kind of goes back to even if you do still have feelings for this person, even if you do still, want to be in a relationship with them, if they're no longer and they've moved on to somebody else, you gotta figure out how to push those feelings down and say, hey, this ain't that, and I gotta move forward, for our kid.
One other tip I have, and the last one is to talk about your expectations.
Absolutely.
What you expect as a parent, because you may have different parenting styles. Luckily, our parenting styles are very, very, very similar. We have a style where there's consistency, where there's structure, like you come home, you do your homework, you do this, you're in bed by this time, so.
Now, I was just thinking about something. I remember when the boys used to try to finesse. So because it's a lot of different parties involved and we don't all stay in the house, then that's another tip that I just thought about. Got to be a united front. Don't let them kids play you guys against each
I
other.
did try that one time.
They did. They tried to. They used to try to get Elle to do all kind of stuff that
They would
we had already told them.
bypass and calm, especially that Jay. Mama Yanni, can I, if they got older, can I go to such and such? And if Nikki, no matter of town, I say, did you talk to Mama Nikki? And they think, well, Mama out of town, so next vet is called Mama Yanni. Jay was good at that.
Yeah, they try to
He would
go
call
around.
me. I'm like, boy, nah. No, you can't do that. I said, what your Mama Nikki say? And I say, no, you know she's not gonna lie. No, you can't know.
And parenting styles like, I'm gonna whoop your butt. Elle ain't gonna whoop nobody. She about to fuss, but she was okay with Isaiah getting spankings. So
I had no problem.
You have to be on that same page.
You got my child. You should be able to discipline our child.
Right.
You know, only one time Jay mumbled something. We were going to school. I
Y'all
was
gonna find out.
House on Natural Bridge.
A lot of the stories about.
Twice.
Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all gonna find out quickly. A lot of the times with the stories when you hear about somebody getting out of line, it's gonna be about Jay.
And then Isaiah. But Jay said so like I said, boom, who you talking to? He got on the couch. He came back.
I think his feelings were so hurt.
Their feelings were more hurt than anything.
Because he could believe
that
Mama
did that.
Yeah,
Elijah was probably in kindergarten. Elijah and Isaiah was like, they were too scared to talk. They were like this.
They definitely was.
You know, talking crazy. Yeah, I was. Jay was saying something crazy, and I just, and I don't hit hard, you know. Yeah, but he got it.
He definitely did.
Have I ever whooped him with a bill? I think I have. Nope, I haven't. They never whooped him.
Elle gonna fuss. I'm gonna whoop your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the days they needed they bus whoop.
They did. They got older. We put them on punishment. And I'd be like, Elle, they on punishment. So when they went over her house, they thought they was about to turn up. She was like, your mama already told me you're on punishment. You're on punishment over here too. They like, dang.
Yeah. I remember that time Jay did something and James took the hinges off the door. I said, why is the door off the hinge?
Right.
Jay has done something. He took the whole door off. He didn't want us Bill Cosby moves or something.
We weren't gonna play with them boys.
Whole door was gone. He said, you don't get no privacy.
Yep.
You have any more tips?
No, I think that's all the tips. I think those are some good ones. And if we come up with more, we will definitely add them. Definitely. I'm pretty sure when we start having our guest host on, they'll have some tips as well. Probably some similar to the ones that we've given. Maybe some additional ones. But like we said, our goal is to try to empower and help others out that are going through, their co-parenting journey. Maybe it's going good, maybe it's not, but hopefully we can give you something that helps it to go better, or if it's already going better, take it to that next level. Want to make sure that you subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on all our socials. We are the Real Uncoupled Couple on TikTok. And everything else, we are the Uncoupled Couple, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. Yep. And you can email us at therealuncoupled@gmail.com, or you can send us a message on any of our socials, DM us, instant message us on any of our socials. And we will see you guys next time. Remember, we'll have a new episode out for you guys in 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
All right.
We out. Bye-bye.